Thank you for clicking on the video. Today we're going to go over some new VR games and VR news. Firstly, starting with Aces of Thunder, which is now coming to Steam for PCVR users after being heavily marketed as a PSVR2 only title. While we still wait for an actual solid release date, they have said it's coming in Q4, so I'm thinking around October, which is a very busy time for VR releases in general, and with a mix of single player and multiplayer, I'm happy to see it's hitting another platform because the game is online and the more fighters in the sky, the better. And after experiencing War Thunder Online, which has a free VR mode, and I'll leave a link to some gameplay if you haven't seen it before at the end of today's video, things are looking good for Aces of Thunder. The game will launch with 15 maps and 3 key theatres from the Second World War, the Western, Eastern and Pacific fronts, and will have 20 faithfully recreated fighters at launch. Now, any of you who have been in VR for some time will remember Thumper. It's a fast twitch reflex rhythm game with a haunting atmosphere and some cool boss fights, and it's pretty much available on all platforms. And now the developers are releasing a new game called Thrasher. I went in with very high expectations, and while the game does look stunning on Quest 3, offering pin-sharp visuals thanks to the display, the gameplay in all honesty has just left me very underwhelmed. You take control of a giant dragon and you have to drag the dragon via a cursor through puzzles while avoiding some red obstacles. And the more I play, the more I think this game just doesn't seem to go anywhere. I've really tried to enjoy it, but as soon as I start the game again and get over how nice it looks, I get pretty bored. It's coming out this week on Apple Vision Pro and MetaQuest and then in December for Steam, but as of right now, I doubt I'll ever play it again. Now, a game I haven't heard anything about for a very long time is Hello Cruel World. They recently dropped a new trailer and it actually looks pretty interesting. You play a streamer trapped in an AI torture test, and it looks to be a mixture of fast puzzles in a horrifying environment, and is releasing on Steam and Quest on August 1st. This has literally come out of nowhere and has now got my attention.
I am similar to you, trapped here. I have been down here for so very long. Could you come down to where I am? Please do.
If you own a PSVR2 and have PS Plus, Sony have added trial modes for some games, and the time ranges for these trials are 30 minutes to 60 minutes each. Titles include Pixel Rip Moss 1 and 2, Gorn, Townsmen VR, Broken Edge, Vampire the Masquerade, Ghost Signal, Galaxy Kart, Legendary Tales, and more. If you have PS Plus, let me know if you've tried this feature and how you feel about it, and after using these timed demos, have you actually purchased anything? Rumours are now circulating MetaQuest 4 is going to be releasing in 2026, and you'll have 2 versions to choose from, the Pismo Low and the Pismo High, plus Meta have some AR glasses on the way. In all honesty, this is completely unsurprising news, and until something concrete happens, my focus is purely on the MetaQuest 3S. Currently, Quest 2 owners are struggling for a reason to upgrade right now, and the $500 price tag for Quest 3 is only appealing to tech folk like me who appreciate pancake lenses and mixed reality. But as more developers are leaning into Quest 3 to take advantage of the Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2, the Quest 3S could be the tipping point if the price is at $299 as we have all speculated. Currently, Quest 3S is looking like a Quest 2 with 3 new lenses, a slightly lower resolution display than Quest 3 with a fast switch LCD panel and a refresh rate of 120Hz. So right now my eyes are firmly locked on September with MetaConnect to hopefully be able to go hands-on with the Quest 3S and give you some sort of first impressions or even a review. Arken Age is almost ready on PSVR2, and the developers are currently submitting to Sony for approval once the Steam beta testing is wrapped up. And they're going to be dropping a release date very soon. Now, I've spoken to the developer, and hopefully I can get involved with the Steam VR beta testing and maybe post some gameplay very soon. Arken Age is definitely one of the games I've been looking forward to for a very long time, since it was first ever announced, so fingers crossed we get some more gameplay info soon. For those of you who love social VR experiences like VRChat, Riff XR has now launched on MetaQuest and is in early access on Steam. Most people I've spoken to have been very positive about it, and I'd love to know if any of you have tried it. I'm hoping to jump in later this week, but as you're going to find out as this video goes on, I've got a lot to cover. The latest official Attack on Titan's trailer has now dropped, and it was hit with massive skepticism, and rightly so. The trailer looks pretty damn awful in a lot of ways, and the main reason a lot of people think it looks bad is there's already a fan-made Attack on Titan out there for VR, and it looks so much better. And while it is super tough to play because I have experienced it, hardcore lovers of the anime are already quite happy with it. And for those of you interested to see if the official Attack on Titans game is any good, I now have it installed on my MetaQuest and will be dropping my first impressions tomorrow. And in case you missed it, No Man's Sky has a brand new update called Worlds Part 1, and while I found it more graphically pleasing, especially the water effects, to be honest they are absolutely crazy in VR, the update has now introduced heavy frame drops when entering most planets' atmospheres, and there's some other graphical bugs that people have discovered along the way. There's also players reporting that they can't interact with vendors anymore, and that would pretty much make the game unplayable. But Hello Games have clearly been super hard at work on the game, and I expect these issues will be resolved sooner rather than later, and I personally hope they do, as the PSVR2 version was the best way to play this game. It was just so smooth, and I would still argue if you jumped in today you'd still have a great experience. Let me know if you've tried the update and your thoughts so far. Now, one of my favourite apps to show people is Google Earth VR, but it's only available on Rift Store for PCVR. However, last week I jumped into a new app called EarthQuest, and it's actually fantastic for standalone. It doesn't require any setup, and you can travel anywhere in the world in 3D. It has an incredible street view and features ChatGPT as a travel assistant. I'll leave a link in this video's description to the app, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts on it, but so far I've really enjoyed it. Stabby VR is coming July 25th, and it's priced at £5.99, which is around $7 to $8, and is looking like tons of fun. Players use the stab mechanic for pretty much everything, to scale buildings and parkour across the city and then drop from rooftops to eliminate your targets. It has up to 6 players online, customizable avatars, single player missions, 3 multiplayer modes, classic King of the Hill and stab tag, and it's looking incredible fun. I can't wait to check it out later this week. Season 1 for Contractors Showdown is opening up for playtesting. They did a session yesterday, and the second one is today, starting at 4 PM EST. The new season features a hell of a lot of changes and now includes vehicles, which I personally can't wait to try. Unfortunately, the times chosen by the devs to put the servers live is causing me some problems in the UK, as it's quite late. Let me know if you're going to be jumping in, and hopefully I'll see you online later tonight. And finally, Into the Radius is being released in early access this week, and I can't wait to jump in and especially try co-op. I think it's only 2 players right now, and it should be going up to 4 eventually, and is only in early access on Steam, but I will be 100% dropping a video sometime later this week. Thank you ever so much for watching. Thank you to anyone who likes and subscribes, and I'll see you on the next one.